Welcome, 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 and thank you for spending some of your time with us. My name is Tina Rosenquist, and this is Knowledge for Wellness. And this show is to enhance your overall understanding of information provided to you. Because when you know more, you are empowered to make better decisions, to enhance yourself and your loved ones for a better quality of life. And knowledge is power. And today's topic is on geriatric care management. And bringing us this great information is Chris Austin. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, thank you, Tina.
I am so delighted that you could join Knowledge for Wellness and to share this great information with my viewers, because not a lot of people know about this care and to know that their loved ones could be very well taken care of before the crisis does hit. But you are the owner and actually the entrepreneur and inventor of your own My Life, LLC. But you haven't been on Knowledge for Wellness, so I'd love for you to take a few minutes and boast about yourself. I know it's hard to do, but take a few minutes, tell everyone your love, your passion, and why you decided to go into this line of work.
Thanks, Tina. You know, I'm a social worker by background, and so I started out in my social work career working in community-based services with elderly individuals out in the community. And over time, I've worked in a number of different arenas as a social worker in hospitals, nursing homes, transitional care units, and such. Most recently, I worked in the capacity of a director, so could see things from a more systems perspective. I've always had the dream of owning my own business, and over the years as a social worker, I've seen many families and individuals really struggling with the need for someone to advocate for them and to sit down with them and spend time answering their questions and educating them, helping them navigate through different healthcare systems and navigating through the challenges that exist as someone ages. So that's where I came up with the idea of My Life, which is a care management company that works one-on-one with individuals to help them navigate through these challenges that they face as they're aging.
Right, and a lot of people aren't even familiar with all the different avenues that they can take. You know, a crisis hits, you know, a family member perhaps has a heart attack or a stroke, and then the only thing that you can think of is, oh, nursing home. And you're here to make my viewers aware that there are other alternatives out there.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I guess we'll just kind of follow through with the basics of, you know, what an actual geriatrics care person does or what it's all about as well.
Sure. Geriatric care management has been informally, I think, used for many, many years. 20, 30, 40 years ago, when someone elderly was struggling in their home environment, very often neighbors, friends, church members, adult children, and other family members helped to provide support and coordinate that elderly individual's care. But in modern society, elderly or the children of elderly individuals are working and often juggling other priorities such as their own families and their own homes, and sometimes they don't live nearby their parents. So they're oftentimes overwhelmed with the competing obligations that they have. So there's a need for professionals to provide a formal service of care management to elderly individuals and their families. So care management, in a nutshell, is a health or human service professional who provides assessments, develops a plan of care for an elderly individual and their family, and then helps to coordinate supportive services and provide supervision and management of those services over time.
So that reassures the daughter or son well to know that their loved one is being well taken care of, either their mother or their father or even a grandparent at that point.
That's right.
Because we have so much demands on ourselves, and the baby boomers are also having their own children along with their older parents. And so that sounds really good. Could you go into depth a little bit also with exactly what a geriatric care manager would do if you were to come into, let's say, my home? That would be really great to educate my viewers on that as well.
Sure. Care management services can be provided on short-term or long-term basis. If there's a crisis, a care manager can step in and help intervene and work through and navigate through that crisis.
Okay.
Social worker or geriatric care managers are very good at assessing what a client's needs are. So I will very often go into the elderly individual's home environment, wherever that may be, and assess their needs, looking at them from a holistic perspective.
Sure.
So I may look at their social needs, their spiritual needs, their nutritional needs, their legal and financial needs, their medical needs, their healthcare needs. And based on what I find from my assessment, I can offer suggestions for how they can get those needs met. Furthermore, I can then help to coordinate supportive services to help them maintain their independence. And if they'd like me to be involved on an ongoing basis, I can help to supervise and manage those services.
Okay, can I back up a little bit? You said you were going to coordinate, so if we could go into more depth of actually that as well.
What services could be coordinated?
And what services that My Life would provide then in coordination of that.
Sure.
Yes.
One of the questions that I ask all of my clients is, do you have a will?
Okay.
Is your funeral prepaid and planned? Do you have an advanced healthcare directive? Do you have a financial power of attorney in the event you no longer have the capacity to make decisions? Do you have your legal and financial matters in order in the event these things happen? And some people do, some people don't. So if they need help with estate planning or developing a will or a healthcare directive, I can help align them with elder law attorneys, financial planners, daily money managers, and a variety of other professionals who can help to provide those services for them to get those needs met.
Okay.
If someone is struggling in their home environment, maybe needs some companionship, needs help with transportation, getting to social events or medical appointments, or needs someone to advocate for them during medical appointments, I can help to arrange home care services or other types of services that help support them in that way. If they have nutritional needs, perhaps cooking is becoming a hardship for them, I can help to arrange home-delivered meals, or we can look at congregate dining options for them. And sometimes being in the home is no longer appropriate or adequate to meet that elderly individual's needs. If that's the case, then perhaps what they need to do is explore senior community options such as assisted living, independent living, or even skilled nursing facilities. So I can help to facilitate the transfer of selling their home, downsizing, or what we like to call right-sizing. And then helping them make that move and that transition to a new place.
Yeah. And it sounds so great because, you know, we're all such individuals that one doesn't always fit for everyone. And even to the point whereas my mother-in-law was at where she couldn't even really cook for herself. But she was in an area that she was getting lonely as much as we could visit her. And it sounded so perfect when we were going to move her into the assisted living because it had the kitchen if she did want to cook for herself, but she also had the kitchen downstairs so she could also get the meals there, do a little socializing, play bingo, and meet up with people of her age group, and where they had a lot more in common.
Right. Well, thank you, Tina, for inviting me into your studio and allowing me to talk a little bit about geriatric care management. So many consumers, adult children, and elderly individuals don't even realize that such a service exists to them. And I talk with so many families who are overwhelmed and not sure what even questions to ask of professionals. I'm happy always to answer questions, point families in the right direction, and provide support and encouragement to them, as well as to offer free consultations to them to allow them to get to know me and to see if care management would be a good fit prior to commencing services. So I welcome your feedback and questions, and feel free to give me a call or visit mylifecarellc.com.